Today I was thinking a lot about the parent and adult-child relationship. I know I've been talking about this quite a bit lately, and the thought was that it has to start before your child becomes an adult. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Mona Friday. I teach breathwork, emotional intelligence, and effective communication. Today I was listening to a TEDx youth talk, and there was a young man named Maximilian Park, and he was discussing emotional intelligence from the teenage perspective. And like a year ago, he had said how depressed he was and he was isolating and losing friendships, things like that. And then he started to study emotional intelligence. And that really opened him up, and it helped him to realize that he needed help, and that the people such as his parents and friends and teachers who were offering help were really a good source. And another talk, I don't recall the name of this person, but he was somebody who had been in college, and he had a girlfriend, and they were dating, and she was saying, why are you taking these classes? Because you're not happy in these courses. Think about what it is that you like to study and then study that. And this guy had an aha moment and realized, wow, I never thought to study something that I enjoyed. And these are all things that are linked to emotional intelligence, that self-awareness. What are the things that you like? What are the things that bring you joy and happiness and help you to be your best person? How can you interact with people better? How can you self-regulate and empathize with other people? What motivates you? These are all things in regard to emotional intelligence. So I was just seriously thinking about how important it is to train our young people. And the earlier we start, the more successful we're going to be, and the more successful they are going to be. Now, I speak of my adult children all the time, and I have grandchildren. I am going to try to do the things with them that I did not do with my children. And the reason why I didn't do it with my children was because I was unaware. I lacked emotional intelligence, and that's the beauty of emotional intelligence. It's something that can be learned. So that is very exciting to know that what really helps relationships grow is to grow your emotional intelligence. So let's start with our young people, and let's start with ourselves. We can go back to what it is that makes us happy, and then have conversations with our children, with our students, with a young person. Just bring up the question of, what makes you happy? What would you like to do with your life? Did you know you can start at any moment? Because every moment is a new moment. So it is exciting because here we are at the end of 2024. We're just a couple weeks out before we enter the new year. So why don't we enter 2025 with an open mind? Let's grow our emotional intelligence. Let's grow our happiness and grow our relationships. I am dedicating myself to even more growth. And in the new year, you're going to be seeing some new things from my channel. And I am hoping that maybe to branch out, that you would see me maybe even in person. Because really what I would love to do, and what I would love to see more of, is teach in the schools specifically on emotional intelligence. Now, I used to teach third grade, and I would teach them little things, like just social skills and self-regulation. And a lot of times the younger ones, third graders, don't know their body space, where they're busy holding themselves up on a desk. I had one student do this. He was holding himself up on a desk. He was standing there, and then he was kicking from side to side, and he kicked me. And I said, hello, do you not see what your body is doing? And so, this is a fine age to start showing them the connection between the mind and the body. And making that connection about that self-awareness, thinking about how you're feeling and knowing that it's just a mood, it's just an emotion and it will pass, and learning breath work techniques that will help us get us through those times. So how amazing would that be if we did this in our schools? We could start as young as preschool. You know, when they are learning how to be a good student and work well with others, that's the perfect time to teach them how to be aware of their feelings and how to self-regulate. And also how to develop your relationship with that child. Because if you have the thought in your mind as a parent that this child is going to grow up to be an adult, what kind of a relationship do I want to have with that child when he becomes an adult, right? Or when she becomes an adult? Really think about that. And I am curious to know, what areas are you working with your children, or as a child or an adult child, are you working with your parents? And think about the older generation as well. You know, oftentimes we get stuck in that mid-generation, but we're not thinking about the older generation, because now that's another area that can be sensitive, because you building up to where you're becoming more independent and you want to be autonomous, you want to do things on your own, and then as an older adult and an elder, things kind of go backwards where you have to start depending on others at some times. Not always, but there are cases where you're going backwards and you need that help. But it's all about relationships, emotional intelligence, and effective communication. I hope you found this helpful. Until next time, I wish you peace, love, and happiness.